Silver is pumping. Yeah, boy. Boom, boom, boom. Use the time codes below to go straight to the part where we talk about the silver pump, the inverse head and shoulders, where we could go to next. But if you're watching this live, you get to enjoy the Good Morning Stackers show, all the stuff in the very start of it. My name is Joe Main. We do the synchronized slurp in the first minute of the show. Then we do some announcements, we do some shout outs, everybody jumps in the chat, the GMS family. So use those time codes below if you want to skip all that stuff. But you come here for the familyness of the show. Get your tasty beverages ready. In the next 15 seconds, we will do the synchronized slurp, where you grab your tasty beverage of choice, your mug of choice, cup, whatever thing you want to use, and we slurp it. You have to do an audible slurp. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Once again, my name is Joe Main. I have worked in the bullion industry for 11 years at various retail stores in both customer service and then on the social media side of things. You've seen my face, you've heard my voice definitely, all that stuff. And now you join me here every single morning on a weekday that is at Good Morning Stackers. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and then join me for all the fun and frivolity. Again, we'll be talking about silver today. Skip to the time codes if you want. Silver, the inverse head and shoulders, it did play out. We'll talk about that and we'll figure out where's the next little major area of resistance. We'll do a little bit of news maybe. Maybe some show and tell. Yes, maybe, maybe not. But we'll have a good old pump it up family fun time here this morning. So let's do a quick few shout outs. It's what we do. Then we do some announcements and all that kind of stuff. So Black Coal was the first one on GMS. Black Coal, Living Adam Man says the gold silver ratio looks impressive. Yes, it does. We will also look at the gold silver ratio. Skip to that time code right now if you don't want to see all this stuff. But this is all about the GMS family right here. Did I say hockey stick moves? Signs of what's to come. Silver is awake again. Could be. Excuse me, and GMS, of course, and Pete Repeat. Pete Repeat. Hello, Pete Repeat. Looks like you're new to the channel. You might have been subscribing, but this is the first time I've seen you on the live show. So everybody, welcome, Pete Repeat, GMS mate. I'll get to you in a second, Tony. I like the reference there. Pete Repeat is a very obscure, well, it's obscure to anyone else not in Australia, but within Australia you might remember it was in the 80s, 90s roughly. Pete Repeat was an ad for wasn't an ad for like tidying up or something like Tidy Up Australia, that kind of thing. Pete Repeat, I think it was something like that. I know it was a commercial of some kind or some kind of TV thing. I remember it being a meme back before memes were memes. It was a meme. Pete Repeat, I remember that very clearly. So nice throwback. Good morning, Stackers, says Tony Peterson. Tony, you might be winning this bet of ours quite soon, potentially. Tony and I made a bet yesterday on the show that silver. She thinks that silver will hit 48 Australian dollars by October, and we did by the end of October. And I just played the contrarian. I thought, yeah, I don't think it will hit 48. Maybe not 48 by the end of October. It's like 42 something now. So you never know. You could be on the receiving end of a silver kangaroo there, Tony. Good morning, Joe. And chatters, exactly. Living Adam Man says, good morning all. Yeah, I remember. Anyone remember ERG and Norm? I remember Norm. I don't know what ERG stands for. I remember Norm. Anyone in the Melbourne area, very quickly, we'll do some announcements and blah, blah, blah. Time codes, just if this is all about us here. I remember the Pick Apart ad. It's one of the favorite ads I remember, and it's very specific to Melbourne. So you would have had to have grown up in Melbourne and possibly even on the east side of Melbourne. But I think it was a Melbourne-based commercial back in the 80s, maybe the early 90s as well, for Pick Apart. Pick apart, pick apart, pick apart. Don't leave that car just sitting in a heap. Come to Pick Apart, where everything's cheap. It was a whole thing, and I know the thing word by word because I was a kid when it was on the commercial. Desi says, good morning, everyone. Unfortunately, on the train now, so I can't put the volume up. Yeah, boo. That's for you, so you can't hear what's going on. If you think gold and silver are going up, just give me a thumbs up, Joe. Oh, so, uh, yeah. So that was so funny because I did that for like meaning boo, because you haven't got your volume on, but then you asked for a thumbs up for silver. So now I've just confused you. Is it going to go that way, or is it going to go that way? I don't know. That'll be funny when he looks back on it. Life be in it. Pete, repeat, life be in it. Yes, okay, life be in it. Thank you. They scrapped that one too happy. Ah, okay. There we go. All right. So, a couple of quick announcements. Of course, I want to announce the special for Perth Bullion Exchange. They are my brand partner. So we're going to quickly share the screen, show the silver. That's the silver price. This is the Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, my preferred bullion dealer. We are a brand partner together. Now, I don't know if the special is up, but I'll tell you what the special is. I did get word of it. Perth Bullion Exchange are Australia's first dealer to offer free express shipping on all discount volumes. If you don't know what that means, go to the website perthbullion.com.au. Just start playing around with the shopping cart, and you'll realize, oh, if I buy a tube of silver coins, I get free shipping on that, which is unheard of in Australia until now. For example, and you can there might be mix and match, add some gold as a play around with the shopping cart. You get it? I think, I'll tell you what it is. Let me just double check if it has gone up and we'll find out. So let's do that old chestnut and I'll do this old chestnut. Thanks for your patience, everyone. I really appreciate it. We'll do a hard refresh of the screen and see if it has come up. There's the V8. No, they've got all that awesome other stuff right there. We'll go to... Ah, there it is. There it is. That's why I was looking for buybacks, but it says secondary market. Man alive. Okay, so the special for today, Perth Bullion Exchange launched on May the 1st. They're doing 30 days of specials, a special each and every day. And today's the first day they've put up buyback silver. Now, I'm going to make a live recommendation to Ricky at Bullion Now. Bullion Now, jeez, I knew that would happen at one point. I was going to say someone at Goldstackers or someone at Ainslie or someone. I knew that was going to happen eventually. I've been really good with that over the years. I've always almost caught myself, but no. I used to work at Bullion Now. That's why I said that. Ricky from Perth Bullion Exchange is a new bullion dealer. Oh my god! You should buy from everyone, by the way. Just because I'm brand partnered with Perth Bullion Exchange doesn't mean you shouldn't buy from all the others as well. Bullion Now is always in my head sometimes because I used to work for them for 3 years. I was the guy who started and grew their YouTube channel. So if you've seen Bullion Now stuff, that's me, bro. That's my voice, my face on camera as well sometimes, but definitely my voice behind the camera. Anyway, Perth Bullion Exchange, the special today is 1 ounce buyback silver. What I was going to say to Ricky at Perth Bullion Exchange, if he's watching this live as well, I would consider changing that to buyback rather than secondary market, because people in the bullion industry in Australia, we all have the phrase buyback in our heads, so that might make more sense. But do what you want, it's your business. But 1 ounce buyback silver he told me it was $3.50 over spot, Australian dollars, of course, and that's 50 cents better than what it's going to normally be, which is going to normally be $4 over spot. I remember speaking to Ricky on one of the live shows we did during their launch, and he was mentioning how buyback silver, when they had it, was going to be spot plus $5. Now he's changed it to spot plus $4, and now it's only $3.50 over spot with this special. So it could be anything, of course. It says this 1 ounce fine silver secondary market coin is chosen based on stock availability. Obviously, you get what you get, offering an economical means to invest in silver with reduced premiums. Kindly be aware that this selection is assorted and picked randomly. Conditions may vary. If you've ever bought buyback silver, you know you don't get to choose. Don't be picky. Don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. Don't be that person. Don't be that stacker. Okay? Don't go after the fact. Oh, or don't send a message and say, "Oh, do you have the 2013?" But no, buyback is buyback. It's just literally like a lucky dip, and you go, there you go. There's your stuff, and in varying conditions. So, but I think that's the cheapest buyback 1 ounce silver that I've ever seen. And it looks like it's going to be, as far as I can tell, looks like it's going to be all coins as well. I don't think it's going to be, you don't normally get 1 ounce bars a lot. So I think it's going to be coins as far as I'm aware. But don't quote me on that. But it is 1 ounce buyback silver for $3.50 over spot. That's ridiculous. 350 Australian. So that is that announcement. Go check that out right now if you want. You can watch this at the same time. Also, hit me up at Instagram.com/It's Joe Main. Why? Because I launch and grow businesses' YouTube channels, any kind of business. Watch my free content and send me a message if you want to know more, because I do charge for them for a program that I have, a 10-week mentoring program where I teach you how to create this similar kind of stuff, consistently engaging content, and that's it. So I'll go back to a couple of comments and then we'll go straight onto the silver thing. So let's see, they scrapped that one. Pete says, buy some headphones, Desi. Yeah, man. Unless Desi's one of those people on the train that's like, when you're on the train and there's always that one person in your carriage that's like pumping the music, like they're just listening to their phone with no headphones, and it's just they're listening to music or whatever. It's like, dude, get headphones. Desi, don't be that guy. Desi's saying, I'm seeing a lot of mixed signals. Yeah, sorry, man. Yes, definitely need to buy headphones, but rarely on the train. Okay, fair enough. Tony says, I won a bet last year that spot wouldn't hit 26 by New Year's Eve. Well done. October 2024 will be a month to remember with the New York Stock Exchange too. Winky wink, in my opinion. Okay, so, gee, that's interesting. Well, that's pre-election. I don't know about that. I'm not going to place a second bet with you because you're probably going to win this one. But I'm going to say a big no-no on that one. And I could be completely wrong. But in a US election year, the stock market, for the incumbent, for the person that is in power at the time, generally, and if it's Democrats, let's be honest, not going too political, but let's be honest, if a Democrat is coming up for a re-election, that year and preceding, stock market does great. Gee, why does that? Interesting that, isn't it? The stock market does really well in a time where a Democratic incumbent, so a previous leader, is up for re-election. Funny that, isn't it? So I don't believe that we're going to see an economic crash before the election. Unless, now we're just spitballing, and unless, I can't read minds and all that, but unless they want him out, if they're trying to get him out, but then if they got him out by crashing the thing, then that would be an instant win for Trump. So I don't see it personally. But any more? No more comments. All right. Time code. You hit the time code. We're going to talk about silver. We've been doing this for 13 minutes. Sorry, people. You have to wait. You got to wait for all this stuff. So let's share the screen and let's talk about this silver pump. Boom, boom, boom. DJ Airhorn. Okay. Hey, my name's DJ Airhorn. Yo, I'm DJ Airhorn. Yeah, so let's talk about the pump right here. So what are we talking about? So let's go back here. Of course, this is this is the Gold and Silver Stackers Australia group right here. So if you head over to GSSA, this is the Gold Silver Stackers Australia group. I post here every single morning. Place to be for stackers in Australia. I posted, yeah boys, silver pumped. Yesterday we mentioned the inverse head and shoulders playing out. Needed to break the neckline to confirm, and confirm it did, blasting through first resistance. Where to next? It certainly did. So you guys were here yesterday. A lot of people were. We were under this neckline. We had come down to this area here. We'd found that support. We talked about that support in the previous video. Then we talked about around about here, and we said we'd want to see support at around about 27. We found support at 27. And then I said you'd want to make a bounce for here. We're around about here-ish, I think, roughly when we did yesterday's show. And then I said, potentially you might see it come up here, and then we have to break this neckline, and then in order to see the inverse head and shoulders pattern play out, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and indeed in the last 24 hours it has played out. I just love this stuff so much. So even look at this, right? So it played out, it broke out of this neckline right there. And what do you know? It came back. It had the breakout and then the retest on the 4-hour time. That is on the 1 hour time frame. Sorry. So breakout, retest on the 1 hour, and that was when so we broke out here. You can see down here on the relative strength index, we came to the top of getting into extremely overbought, but we didn't get there. So then we had, sorry, where are we? My apologies. Yeah, right there. And then we had the retest, which took it back down, and then we had the pump. And now we have been in extremely overbought territory on the relative strength index on the 1 hour time frame for a good period of time. I'm going to suggest that's probably going to tick over today. So I would say around about here is the high point. Now, it could be completely wrong, and again, this is the hourly time frame, so you could just sail for a while in extremely overbought, but I'd just be careful around about this area here. We pumped through that 28 level. We had, and interestingly again, on the 1 hour time frame, we pumped through the 28 level, which is right there, and then we had a retest of that support level right there, which is the top end of this purple box. There you go. If I was a betting person, I'm going to suggest I'm going to say there's a more than a 50% chance, and I could be completely wrong, and I'd love to be, that just within the next few hours at least, we're going to see some downwards price action. And I think we'll probably retest somewhere around, just somewhere in this area. We want it to hold the neckline. You know, it has bounced on the 1 hour, but if we take it to the 4 hour, 4 hours looking a little, where are we? We've just opened a new 4 hour in the last 16 minutes. Okay, so the show started at 10. We've just opened a new 4 hour window. I would suggest we're finding it a little bit weak at the moment. So I'm going to say more than 50% chance we see lower prices just from here in the next few hours at least. I would want to see the $28 level hold a support, and if that holds a support, then bang, we're heading up, and the inverse head and shoulders pattern is still playing out, at least on the daily time frame. So right, here's the daily. You see that huge move after we broke out of this neckline. You can see that huge pump to over $28, $28.30 US cents. And since we did open green, but it's looking a bit fake outy right there. Now, I could be completely wrong, right? So the areas I want you to look out for, if we do continue the pump from here and we do play out the full head and shoulders pattern, and I did show you this yesterday. I'll go back to the 4 hour very quickly and show you this. It's great to see that we've had that pump. Basically, you take, and it's not an exact science, but you take the move from the head right there to the highest shoulder. Now, some people may disagree, but I put that there, and then you take it to the breakout of the neckline, and that takes it to around about there, which is about $29.30 US cents. It's a bit of a high pump. I was suggesting that this area here might be a level of resistance to meet, to contend with, because there's a few areas, one there, and there. That's at $28.80. So I was more favoring $28.80, but I was just showing you that the absolute extension of the inverse head and shoulders pattern could go all the way to $29.30. Not quite sure on that one, but at least that's, you never know, because this is, I'll show you here, this is on the daily time frame still, so we do have room to move. So even on the 4 hourly right here, you could see a move back, a quick test of say 28 level, and then a pump over the next 24 hours to actually have today be a green day. So you never know, you could see the little fake out to the downside and then the move back up. So yeah, you could certainly see, I reckon that 28.80 is the most likely for me to find that area of resistance. And if we don't, and we have a complete red day and a couple of red days from here, then you'd be looking at, I think, the most likely and most obvious one. I won't do an extended one right here. Let's do there. Can you see this area of resistance right there? That's pretty obvious to me. That's at $27.70 US cents. So that's where I would like to see it. All this stuff is really easy to see, and this is not soothsaying stuff. It's, as I said yesterday, I'm not, we're not prognosticators of prognosticators. It's Punxsutawney Phil style. It's just very simple support and resistance stuff. So if we do see on the 4 hour time frame, if we do see a red day and a bit more of a selling off, you can see on the 4 hour we're in extremely overbought as well, then somewhere between 27 $70 and $28 will be your support level, I think. All right, so that's your kind of your weather report for silver. We've seen that pump, and it's great to see. And just look out for 28.80, I think, as resistance. I don't probably think we pump all the way to 29 as the reaction to the inverse head and shoulders pattern. I don't see 29.30 more likely here. Happy to be wrong though, because we all have silver and we're all in it for, to make it a money and really to maintain our wealth over longer periods of time. That is silver. We're at 20 minutes. Let's do some quick some quick comments, and then we'll go to gold. Then we'll quickly look at platinum. And I want to show you something on Twitter as well. Someone that I follow on Twitter. I reckon you should follow too. They do some great chart analysis. So I think you should follow them. I'll show you that in just a second. But let's do some quick comments. Living Adam Man says, late year, so late this year, I guess, is a pump time in USA, plus their end of financial year. Some analysts expect a lot of action by year's end in the commodities. Yep, in the commodities, yeah, you could be very true. Silver Shield do a great range of demon rat design. Yeah, okay, yes, they do. I've seen those from Chris Twain. Sorry, Chud. Sorry, Chud. Living Adam Man says, I enjoyed Chud's farewell on replay. Was good to see Joe fire up. I love firing up. So if you missed yesterday's show, there was someone who I have recognized from other bullion dealer channels that I've literally run myself comments before, and they're just kind of a negative person. It just, I recognize, and they jumped on this channel, my channel, and started being a chud, and so I kicked them off. It's good to fire up every now and then, isn't it? Ray M says, g'day Ray M. Ray M says, GMS. Good to see you, Ray M. Fantastic. To clarify what I think what the stock market will do in October is a huge pump and dump. Okay, potential. I don't see maybe the pump before the election and maybe a dump afterwards. But yeah, you could certainly see a pump towards that, because they would want to, the incumbent political party would want to just on by election day go, the stock market's never been higher. Look at this economy. It's great. Blah, 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 blah. Keep our guy in. Pete Repeat says, has anyone seen the new jeweled snake from the Perth Mint Masterpiece series? No, haven't seen it. Very nice 10-ounce gold coin, $289,000. Yeah, wow. Haven't seen it, no. But sounds really cool. Tony Peterson says, a mintage of 8. It's stunning. I haven't seen it, personally. No. All right. Get your other comments in while I go back to the price of gold. Let's take a quick look. No, gold-silver ratio. Hit the time codes. You've gone to the gold and silver ratio. That's what we were going to talk about. I did mention that at the start of the show. Because gold's gone up too, but because silver's had a bigger pump, you're seeing the gold to silver ratio drop. We talked about gold to silver ratio, I think, yesterday as well. It is dropping like a stone, and it's great to see. So we talked about this level here of 83.8 roughly, and we have sailed through that. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, as this goes down, it means silver is outperforming gold. Okay, they could both be going down at the same time or going up at the same time in terms of their dollar price, but it's just relative one to the other. Okay, so we're seeing silver outperform gold by a long shot at the moment. So we had this breakout where gold was outperforming silver. Then we had this retest. Silver was taking center stage. Gold was having its time in the sun for a little bit there for a number of days. Silver's just smashing it right now. And we're below this level of 83.3, this sort of little area of support right here. That would tell me that we're at least going to support this uptrend line right there, possibly even come down to test this downtrend line. And we've been talking about this level of 80. If that breaks 80 and closes it on the monthly time frame, I would actually maybe even say on the weekly time frame, all bets are off, and silver is bang. Silver is just probably going to head down even further, meaning it is going to outperform gold even more and more. So silver's looking good at the moment. But, you've got to watch out for this level right here. And you could certainly see a bounce and, gold just shoots up for a bit. So it goes up and down. Short answer, price goes up and down, thing goes up and down. But the general trend at the moment is, you can see this downtrend right here. So bear in mind that, okay? Silver's looking good for the moment. That's the gold to silver ratio. Let's take a look at the gold price. So this is gold in USD. We're using the tradingview.com website. And unlike silver, actually I'll go back to silver because I've got to show you this on the daily time frame, show you silver to show you gold. Look at the relative strength index right here. And you can see that we are still below this support level, but we're knocking on the door right here on the relative strength index on the daily time frame, 58,670 roughly. But you can see that's a level of resistance right there. Sorry, not level of support, level of resistance. We're under that resistance point. But take a look at silver on the daily. Down here, we've already broken through. So it's a very similar pattern too. You see that level right there. It looks like then down. What does it look like out of interest? It looks like an inverted head and shoulders on the relative strength index as well on the daily time frame. Isn't that interesting? I find this stuff so damn fascinating. So shoulder, head, shoulder, break of the neckline, pump to the upside. Inverse head and shoulders on the relative strength index for silver. That's why you've seen silver go pump more than gold. So the gold to silver ratio is going down. So silver's outperforming gold. Go back to the gold price. So take a look at that. Get that picture in your mind right there. And I'm going to move it right there. Similar thing. Left shoulder, head potentially, and right shoulder here. So you could potentially see a break of this neckline soon. If you break this neckline, I'm going to say, then gold is going to continue going up. But also we take a look at the actual price as well. So it's looking good. It's just still under that little resistance on the relative strength index. So until it breaks that, I'm going to say we're indeterminate yet for the pump in gold too. But let's take a look at the actual price again in US dollars, 2,347. We've opened the day so far green, but we had a pump in gold too. So gold was going up and silver was going up. Great to see. Yesterday we were under this downtrend line right here. We were in between. We were still ranging. That's right. We were still ranging between this support level of 2,305, which I was saying very important. And then I had this 2,315 level in. Don't remember why, but it was there. I'll get rid of it. Don't remember why. It was for a reason. I was talking about this downtrend line right here. Once we broke out of that, you would see a quick move. And I was suggesting that 2,350 was the next level of resistance. We haven't broken that just yet. On the 4-hour, unlike silver though, if you take a look at silver on the 4-hour time frame, silver is in extremely overbought territory. And if you look on the 1-hour time frame, again, it's gone into extremely overbought. So I think there's room to move down on silver. But on gold on the 1-hour, for example, when it decides to do its thing and actually click and change, we've just gone into overbought on the 1-hour, so you can actually spend a little bit more time there. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a pump for gold up to around about that 2,350 area right there, and eventually we will see some profit taking and some resistance. So I think that 2,350 is around about max for me resistance right now. But on the 4-hour time frame, you've still got a bit of room to move as well. So I think find resistance around about there. If I'm wrong, which I very well could be, you would come to butt up against this downtrend line right here. But it's looking good. Gold is looking great and silver is looking great as well. So somewhere in there to wherever it hits there. But you will find resistance here. Definite resistance at this trend line, I think, for sure. More likely 2350. But that is the gold price. And we'll do the platinum price, and then we'll go to your comments. We'll do a quick bit of, we're going to look at a Twitter post by someone who's great at charts. That's to do with silver. But here's the platinum price again. I'm not getting excited. If you're just watching this for the first time, I'm not getting excited until platinum is above this downtrend line right here. And then I'll start to talk about it a lot. But we're still ranging. Great to see it's pumping. It's, 987 US dollars. It's great to see on the weekly time frame. It's good to see here as well on the weekly time frame. We're coming over here to test But ho-hum for silver, it's tricked me a bunch of times, like Lucy in the football. But I will note right down here is that we have come up to match resistance level. Once it breaks, I would say over here at the 60 mark on the relative strength index, then I would say, oh yeah, we're possibly looking good. So I'm just going to say ranging for the moment. It doesn't get me excited until some certain levels, because platinum has excited me and disappointed me so many times over the years. So that is your gold, your silver thing. We did gold, we did platinum, we did the gold to silver ratio. Couple of last comments, and then we'll go to this quick bit of news, and that's pretty much going to be it. Living Adam Man says, good signs for silver re the ratio. Yeah, it looks good at the moment, just that little support level right there that we talked about. There's the hockey stick. Yes, yes. Ray M says, what's your prediction? Okay, what's my prediction for the price of silver by the end of the year? I don't talk about it in terms of the Australian dollar price, because I don't know where the Australian dollar is going to float against the US dollar. But my US dollar prediction, and I've done this, I did this on a different bullion channel. I was working for a certain bullion business at the start of this year, ended sort of earlier this year. I did a silver price prediction video on their channel, but I'll tell you just offhand. I'll probably do my own one for Good Morning Stackers. It is between 37 to 40 US dollars by the end of the year. That's where I think we reasonably top out at for 2024. So that's my answer. 37 to 40 US dollars. Totally happy to be wrong and it sails completely through, but it seems like the most logical, around probably no higher than 37 to 40 US dollars by the end of 2024. So that's my prediction. I don't know what that means for AUD, because we'll take a look at the AUD price for example. And AUD is actually having a little bit of a pump at the moment. It's actually strengthening against the US dollar in the last week. It hasn't been much, but you can see we've come down to this support level right here, and we have bounced off it so far. We haven't cleared resistance. But it looks like, potentially we could. So I don't know what the price is going to be in terms of the Aussie dollar to the US dollar. So that really does remain to be seen. That is important to know, because if the Aussie dollar completely just goes through the roof and starts strengthening against the Aussie dollar, then you could have a big pump. You could have a pump in silver, but not as large a pump in Australian dollar terms. So you could have a big pump in US dollar price silver, but not as large a pump in Australian dollar silver. So that's why I say I don't know in terms of the Australian dollar, because there's that second factor of the fact that it floats against. So that's that. We're going to go to a quick bit of an interesting person. I think you should be following this gentleman right here. But also, I just joined Twitter. The Good Morning Stackers thing just joined Twitter. So if you want to follow me there, you don't have to. It's Twitter. My handle is @GM Stackers, right there. So follow me if you want. But this is Patrick Karim. Actually follow him quite a lot. Actually I'm part of their group as well. North Star Bad Charts. They are, so I'm one of their members, and I just haven't checked the stuff for a while, but this is interesting. This is Silver's historical greatest buy signals. It's coming. So let's have a quick look here. See how close we can get. Maybe I'll try and let's see if I can get a little closer. There we go. And that's probably, yeah, nah, mate, yeah, nah. That's probably close enough, actually. Yeah, no, because you've got to see that one on the left-hand side. I'll actually just read it for you. Okay, so here we go. The North Star Bad Charts, Patrick Karim. This says Silver's historical greatest buy signals. Now, you can't see this on the left, but I'll read it for you. Right here on the left-hand side where my cursor is. First greatest buy signal with 6-month close above the line. So right here, and then you can see that line right here. So this is the first great buy signal. This is back in 1970, roughly. So all of these candles right here are 6-month candles. Each one is worth 6 months. This goes back all the way to 1961 back here. So there's your first greatest buy signal when we had this close on the 6-monthly above this line. And then we had this huge move to obviously that $50 mark in 1979, 1980. Cut to approximately 2005. Second greatest buy signal. Now the bottom was here, but the buy signal is here once you confirm breaking over a certain amount. So this is what they believe to be the second greatest buy signal right here, a close on the 6-month above a certain line right here, followed by that move to 2011. We saw what happened. And right here, here's where we are right now. Third greatest, now this is a question mark, by the way. It hasn't occurred just yet, but we are above the line apparently. So third greatest buy signal with 6-month close above the line after a 130% warm-up move, question mark. So is it coming again? So 6-monthly means so by the end of June the 30th. So by June 30th, if it closes above this line, it looks like to be around about your $26.70 level roughly. That would indicate, at least to these guys, to the North Star Bad Shot guys, to Patrick Karim, that is the third epic buy signal. Now, you could have been buying down here, and that's the buy signal for you. Okay, I know that these guys really take weight of evidence very, very importantly. They could say, yeah, you could have bought down here, but you got to wait for the weight of evidence to really kick in. So you had this move, and then that move, and then a retest. So they're really about trying to lock in, oh no, this is absolutely 100% definite. Well, as close to 100% you can get. So this is their potential third buy signal, and I would tend to agree. With that, you've had that move in March of 2020 down to $11 something. That was the, oh my God, what's happening moment. You had that move back up to this $26 area. It was the failed move to break above it. But you've had this green 6-month candle. If it stays above that line for this first 6-month bracket, which ends, end of June, then that's a really good signal. And then we could have this is the next bull run. And it's probably there. As I said, for me, my final hurdle is $31.20. It looks like their final hurdle is $26.60, $26.70. That's roughly in line-ish. My one's $31, $32 to be 100% confident, but they're suggesting third greatest buy signal. Yeah, probably is. We just need to wait for the close of the 6 months time frame. I should have had that there. So that is, there we go. That's it for the show, although we'll do some comments now. So get your last comments in. We'll read, some comments and do the final synchronized slurp. We do not have a show and tell today. Sometimes you'll get it and sometimes you won't, and that's okay. But if I did one every day, I would run out of stuff eventually because, I buy bulk of stuff. So, I might have, X amount of ounces, but then a lot of it's in one type of thing. So, if I do a show and tell every day, I'll run out of my stack really, really quickly. So I've got to kind of drip it. Final questions or comments. Ray says thumbs up for that prediction. Yes, 37 to 40 US dollars by the end of the year is my prediction. Could be completely bloody wrong. Tony Peterson says, I remember in 2015 it was AUD was parity. Yeah, it was over parity at $1. It was like parity 1-to-1. It wasn't that great when you were looking to buy stuff from the States. It was so good. It just sucks for anyone who has assets denominated in US dollars. We want to see that AUD weaken if we have assets denominated in USD. Silver, gold, crypto, stocks even, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it was parity. Great for buying stuff. You want to buy a cheap camera or a whatever, electronic equipment, great time to do so. Living Out Man says, I love the fact that you're talking amongst each other. That's what this GMS family is all about. Good stuff. I probably won't read out all of those. You guys can talk amongst yourselves. And that's pretty much it. All right. So we're going to end the show. Get your last comments in if you need to. Otherwise, just join me for the synchronized slurp, the last one of the day. Because let's face it, are you going to slurp synchronously with anyone else in your day? Who are you going to say? Are you going to go up to your partner or your family and just randomly go, hey, let's synchronize slurp together? And they'll be like, the hell are you talking about, bro? Weirdo. No, you only get to synchronize Slurp with me and the rest of the GMS family here. So join the GMS family, hit the big red subscribe button, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. This is the end of the week as well, and we have, just out of interest, I'm going to tell you, even though you won't see it on the screen, I will tell you how many do we have after 3 weeks of shows. I started this show 3 weeks ago. We have 144 subscribers in 3 weeks. We hit 100 subscribers within the first 2 weeks, and then in this last week, I've got 44 extra subscribers in the last week. So, kicking goals here. You have joined the right winning team. You have joined the winning team. It is the GMS family. You know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Get your beverage ready. Synchronized slurp. Here we go. In 3, 2. Oh, that is so good. I'm going to get on with the rest of my day helping people grow their businesses through YouTube, through creating consistently engaging content. Go to that Instagram page I mentioned at the start if you want to learn more about what I do, free content, and hit me up with a message to find out whether it is right for your business or somebody else's business that you know. You've seen me prove it a bunch of times already. So that is it. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your weekend. And we'll come back on Monday morning. We'll talk about what the spot price has done over the weekend or after it's closed, etc. And we'll have a good old 4th week of the show. Not even a month, and we're at 144 subscribers. We're kicking goals right here. Tony Pearson says, congrats, Joe. I'll send you a specky giveaway for 1,000 subscribers. Once I hit 1,000, thank you. I appreciate that. We've got to get there. Could happen in 10 days. You never know. And Living Out of Men says, love your show, Joe. Bye. All have a great day. That is it, funky people. We love your work. Have a great weekend. Keep stacking. Oh, is that the sign off? Keep stacking. Stay safe, stay informed, keep stacking, and see you next week.